My results, just to give you an overhead, is better than expected. Now, you may not believe that, but the audio you're hearing right now is the monitor out. Don't believe me? Well, let me turn those monitor out down so you can actually hear for yourself. There you go. That was the monitor out to my camera into the mic port. Why this device? Because I asked Maono if they could send it for me to review. It's affordable at only $69 USD. Yeah, that is a crazy good price. In fact, the audio quality from this audio interface exceeds anything previously from Maono. Has less self-noise than a $200 audio interface from the Lewitt Connect 2. We'll show some examples and comparisons. I'm sorry, Lewitt. Anyways, let's get started. Spooky Studio. Yeah. The Maono PS22 Lite. This is made of hard plastic and it feels light. This is monitor volume control, headphone control, the gain level for both line and microphone, instrument gain level, 48 volts phantom power, and a direct monitor button. Interesting. On the back side, we have XLR, line jack, instrument, monitor out, and USB Type-C connection. When looking at the back, we have rubber feet to prevent it from sliding around your desk. And if we turn to this side, what do we have? A 3.5mm headphone in port. Included with the Maono PS22 Lite is a user manual that contains multiple language, as we can see here in the table of contents. USB cable, Type-C to Type-A, 183 centimeters. When removed, it reveals a Type-C. Tip to tip, this is 1.8 meters in length. At $199, at $69. The Lewitt Connect 2 has a substantial amount of weight more than this, probably about an extra 100 grams. This is 349 grams. Maono, 229 grams. This one has a line in though, that the Lewitt doesn't have. This one has dual headphone, while this one has a single 1/8 inch jack. I'm going to test one thing before we go to mobile phone. Remember, turn off stable volume in your settings of YouTube, be it on your mobile phone or on your PC. What stable volume does is it increases the noise floor to make everything even. The 56 dB of mic gain is actually incorrect. It's better. And now we're listening to the Maono PS22 Lite at max volume. I shouldn't be clipping or getting close to clipping because this can't reach 60 dB according to the specifications. Maybe the product just was too good that they underspec'd it. But let's verify using the PreSonus Quantum ES2. And now we're listening to the PreSonus Quantum ES2 at 60 dB of gain. Am I comparable to the Maono? I don't know, but I'm shouting really loud, well, decently loud for sure. So there's no reason that the Maono should be anywhere comparable to these two. What 60 dB is, just as a backup. Right now, you're hearing me through my mobile phone, so I could actually use this as a mobile device on the go, which is really awesome. PD400X microphone, yeah, that's pretty cool. And just to verify the microphone is plosive. I'm not using the clown nose on purpose, so I could do that nice and easy. The audio interface itself, looks really awesome with those lights. The Rode NTG5, and this requires phantom power. My guitar is also connected, and just like the Lewitt Connect 2, which costs like 3 of these one device, it acts exactly the same. And if we want to have it playing through both speakers rather than one speaker, my microphone, another one, my guitar, what you're going to do is set Open Camera to channels to being mono. Open Camera is a free mobile phone app, but one thing we must know is DaVinci Resolve is going to play through one speaker. Use your media player, it plays through both speakers. That is DaVinci Resolve. You just have to change your audio inputs. I'm using an angled adapter, as we can see down here. And yeah, works quite nice. This comes with the firm off with the Rode NTG5 for using outside. The sound you're hearing right now is being recorded to PC. The sound recorded with Mixcraft 9 Pro Studio. That is the program I'm using. And next, while I show online, downloading the software, that will be PC using OBS. What you're seeing is Pro Studio. This is some very basic but very powerful software. We see our mic levels here, and we can adjust here my left and right channel volume. We can also add music or even games to the virtual channels and set it to either left or right or both, and that is pretty cool. We can do that. We also have ASIO drivers, which is unexpected for something that's this affordable. At least to me, it's very unexpected. We can see it's active because I'm actually using OBS using ASIO drivers to record this. Here we can change our buffer size as well as our sample rate, and we can see our input and output latency. Now, if I want to change the sample rate, I don't know if it'll knock me off of recording or not. Maybe it'll make a pop sound, but I'll try it right now. ASIO disabled. I want to show some settings, and if I change these settings while I'm actually speaking to you, it will knock me out for audio. Our sample rate, if we lower it, for instance. So if you have any delay in your headphones, you might want to change that, but especially right here, safely, and that will definitely affect our headphones. So you could keep the sample rate the same. If you go too low a sample rate, your audio can indeed become crackly. So note that one. Now let's move on to something else, which I do know. Testing the device to see its weaknesses and how everything functions. An audio device you're listening to right now is a Hollyland Lark M2. There is a slight delay when connected to the 1/4 inch. That's how I have it connected. So the 1/4 inch is 6.35 millimeter. So I just use an adapter, done. And the volume level is the same as XLR. Right now we're listening to the Rode NTG5 monitor out to my camera. How am I coming through using this? And I want to show something in terms of functions. This direct monitor button, if I press it, it turns the volume off. So it's either on or off, depending if you have the direct monitor output on. Now, one thing we'll notice right here, do we see it going orange? I'm going to actually go really loud. Let's go back to PC. Right now we're hearing the PC audio. Okay, I'm going to go really loud. I'm going to go really loud, and now I'm going to make it clip. See, it's red, and that really distorts it. Pink is kind of like your warning, and I just go back to where you don't see that pink, where maybe it'll flash occasionally, and that way you can avoid clipping your audio. And I'm going to switch over just in a moment to the Lewitt Connect 2. 3 times more expensive audio interface sounds versus this. Right now we're listening to the Lewitt Connect 2. I have a review of this audio interface as well. So if you want to watch that, well, check it out. Link up here. It is now time to test the self noise of this audio interface. It will be very hard to see because I have a knob to turn. And my hand's going to cover it. That's maximum volume. And this is where I believe the proper volume for this microphone that we speak through is almost maximum volume. This requires 60 dB about of gain. I'm not going to do something with the Lewitt Connect 2 that's going to trigger some of you, and that's okay because this is not your problem. If I destroy my mic, too bad for me. That's my problem, not yours. So who cares? Now, I'm going to pull my mic out. If I reinserted a dynamic microphone, the power would still be on, and that's how pretty much every audio interface works. It doesn't mean they're right, it's just that's how everything works. When I power it off and power it back on, the phantom power does not stay on, so note that one. So that's a good safety feature for this. Notice all that hiss noise? That was the Lewitt Connect 2 monitor out without using denoise. If I use denoise, yeah, it's really silent. You'll hear that little shh sound whenever you start speaking, just slightly. Right now we're looking at the Maono PS22 Lite, and here's our phantom power. Now watch what happens when I disconnect this microphone. Maybe that'll bug you that it turns off the phantom power when disconnecting and reconnecting. But honestly, if you were to toss in a dynamic microphone, you're not adding phantom power into your device by accident. Right now, we're listening to the fifine AM8 microphone. Now let's listen to the monitor volume. You can see it here. I'm going to turn it down and just get an idea for the monitor volume. And now we still are now turning it back up. I can still hear because our headphone volume is on, and I'm turning it up and turning it up. Okay, I'm going to stop, be quiet now. And just to give me an idea how much volume that actually is. Right now we're listening to my headphone volume, and let's turn that down to hear how it goes off. And it's completely silent. Then we're going back up again, and I'm going to be quiet. There we go. Wow, that's loud. So yeah, I think you got lots of volume here. Time to conclude this video with alternate options and what my thoughts are. But before we do that, remember to subscribe to Sparky Studio and help this channel grow. And if you're subscribing right now or already are subscribed, then you, yes, you are awesome. Now, what alternate option would there be? The Vocaster 1. It has better audio quality through the headphone port. Not only that, the headphone port has zero delay without changing any settings in software, as I changed settings in software to provide a lot less delay through the software here. It has a little bit more gain as well. The Vocaster 1 does lack a guitar in port. You can't modify it to get good sound out of a guitar. And this also has a line port, which you can connect even wireless devices, as I showed the Hollyland Lark M2 connected this, and it worked. Other option might be the Lewitt Connect 2. It does, along with the Vocaster Solo, have auto gain. We can see on the screen on the computer, it now blanked out. And you can see it's auto gain. I speak at regular volume levels. This is task 1 to now. Takes about 10 seconds, which is normal for everything. We just simply watch those lines go across. I can do that on the mobile phone as well. Don't need a PC to do it. This does not have an auto gain. Auto gain sets your levels, so it should be good for what you need. And clip guard in the Lewitt Connect 2. A bit more so I can distort, and now I'm going to turn on clip guard. Now clip guard's on. Am I distorting? Right now it's changing my noise floor, so it probably gets a little less hiss when I go louder, because it's actually just the clip guard stops you from, well, clipping your audio from being too loud. Denoise, if your fans are loud and you're using it, every single word you say as you start speaking is going to have a slight shh to it. Now let's denoise this. We have now denoised the room. It seems quite effective. I don't see any noise on my metering. You'll notice it, and it will bug you if you're wearing headphones. So note that one. This doesn't have that feature. It's very basic, to the point, but for the price paid here, this is my #1 recommended, bar none, for the price paid. It is early in 2025, and this is new, and this, they blew it out of the park. Thanks for watching, and have yourselves a most wonderful day.